Alright, so everyone, welcome to my tier list. It's all the birds and Angry Birds 2, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. It's kind of long, but let's get started. So, in so Red, he's C tier. Why, you might ask? Well, it's simple. Red, he's a really good starter bird, I'm not gonna lie, and his shockwave can be useful in situations. But he's not strong by itself, and also against wider structures, he's just gonna struggle, that of which other birds will not. However, his shockwave ability can come in useful sometimes, especially when it comes to like sniping structures, but it's not the most reliable way. Hence, it's C tier. It's a good bird, okay? There's aren't really much bad birds, but I just don't like using him, and I would generally use other substitutes instead. And next thing we have is Bomb. Bomb is easily one of the best birds in the game. Like, come on, other than that cool haircut, man, his bomb radius is actually so large and it can destroy so much stuff. And honestly, it's one of the best base birds. In fact, it is the best base bird. Not only that, it can fit through small gaps, its dynamite can come useful when it comes to snipe, and it's really, really easy to get value out of bomb. Like, it's super easy. I'm not gonna lie. Like, every single time you play this bird, you're gonna get guaranteed value. Like, come on, the explosion's just so big. Now, Leonard is an interesting one for me, but I'm gonna put him in B tier, a higher B tier. Why, you may ask? Well, Leonard, he has like a slime ball ability where if you tap it and he slime balls, he'll shoot it in the arrow direction and go the opposite way. And he has 3 of these shots, and when he hits something, big slime blast. Now, I don't know if it's just me being bad, but I cannot find controlling these balls easily, as he just goes way too fast, and these slime balls generally just feel really underwhelming. So, but the splat overall, it's still good, okay? The splat overall is still amazing. It gets huge. Its radius is absolutely enormous, and I can get so much value from it sometimes, but its main ability is really, really niche. However, sometimes if you can position Leonard properly, yeah, but its backward knockback isn't necessarily that major. And overall, he can be fun to use, but in a competitive environment, I would not use him. Alright, next up, Chuck. He's fast, he cracks wood, and he's always reliable. But why B tier? Well, other than destroying wood, he's not getting anything else. Other than, like, I don't know, maybe to snipe some faraway structure. However, that doesn't mean Chuck is better than Red. I mean, actually, Chuck is better because, at least he can destroy something. And his shockwave will generally be better than Red in most situations, as even when it comes to wide structures and his TNT inside, he can pierce through it and trigger the TNT, which is obviously something I would want. So Chuck overall, he's just a solid bird, but not much to make him stand out, at least better than Red though. Alright, next bird is Matilda. Now, before I'll put Matilda's C tier, but I think Matilda's actually a really good bird. Now, while Matilda's egg is kind of weak on the side, like, of course, compared to Bomb's, Bomb is really weak, but you can actually control where it lands, and also it can trigger TNT, but it just cannot destroy stuff like stone. But sometimes that might even be a good thing, as you don't need to destroy the stone, you have to destroy the pigs. And also, that high jump when you deploy the egg is actually really high, and they can be used to destroy structure from the bottom and destroy structure on top. And trust me, the bird itself, its destruction tower is amazing, but if you don't use its ability, it's actually a really bad bird. So this is sort of like a bird where, like, if you don't use the actual ability, it's actually just really, really bad. But if you use the ability, like, she can be absolutely amazing. Like, you don't even have to use the egg. You can just use her up to ram into a structure, and that structure's gonna topple over because of the momentum she is. However, she's not a top tier like Bomb because she's not the most versatile, but hey, at least she sits where she belongs, unlike the other two. So, Silver and Blues, both of these are equally as bad, but I'm gonna start Silver. Silver is D tier. Like, sure, Silver is a good idea, but Silver is just outclassed by Matilda. Like, Silver's ability is a loop and then down smash, which is just Matilda's egg, but it's just there, and it doesn't deal splash. So, it's just outclassed by Matilda's egg ability. And also, remember, Matilda's down is instant, and again goes up, but Silver requires a loop, and if it gets hit during the loop, whoops, waste of a bird. That's why I generally never use silver, because it's simply just outclassed by Matilda, who is a better option. And now silver might destroy stone and TNT, but Matilda can do the same thing. So silver is just purely outclassed. Like, he isn't even good. Alright, now blues. Blues, I think I put actually higher than silver, actually. No, hold on, let's do it like this. Yeah. Now you might ask why blues is even weaker, but blues can split into three, which is interesting. And also it's the only one of the specialist one that can actually break glass effectively. Of which I guess they're trying to make it interesting, but okay, yeah. After all, the blues, they're kind of weak, but at least they have some usage. At least they have a job. But even though they don't do it well, at least they have a bad job. It's better than having a no job, isn't it? I mean, think of it this way. Its job is still decent to destroy glass, but when you have stuff such as Terrence, it's generally just going to get outclassed. Now, Terrence, he is, like, I struggle to put him on the top end of good birds or the worser end of best birds. But I'm going to go best birds here because I'm generous. Now, why is Terrence behind Bomb? Well, he just smashes through anything. However, he can easily just get stuck on a wide structure, and overall he's just not as versatile as Bomb. And also, he's a bit different because he's bigger than the other birds, so while other birds can do some cracks, he can't and will have to lose momentum. And Terrence, he can just spread through every structure given the momentum, but that doesn't come a lot. And even if he just uses it by himself, it's good. I mean, still good, but it doesn't get as much value as a bomb sometimes. Oh, and let's just mention how I love Terrence when he hits something. It's a big feather particles effect. I love it. Now, personally, I think you can argue with me, but this bird, Puffy with bubbles, yeah, he goes in the middle of Bomb and Terrence. Well, Puffy structure is like you can puff up, like you can have a big gap, and Puffy's just gonna puff up, and boom, the whole structure shatters out. Like, come on. It can actually get bigger than Terrence, and it can just push structures so far, it gets so much value, but it doesn't automatically trigger TNT. And even better, it's like a Terrence where it can just transport it. Like, it can just turn into a Terrence whenever you want it to. And once you click, the thing just inflates. Like, it's actually so good. You can get so much value in loads of situations. And also, he's just a versatile bird overall. However, he really struggles with balloons, so that's the reason why I put him behind Bomb, and Bomb doesn't struggle with that. In fact, his Bomb just automatically goes off. In fact, I'm going to put Terrence above it, but Bubbles is just more versatile, he's fun to use, and it's interesting is looking at the Crushers just absolutely being blown down. And it's really fun to use Bubbles. Alright, final one. Hal. Hal's in C tier. I personally want to put Hal in D tier, but sometimes, like, Hal, yeah, it's a boomerang ability, but you can fling it higher and farther than the other birds, so it's hard to get value. I mean, you can use Hal to snipe buildings, as his movement speed is a bit different. And even when it moves back, it's essentially just a chuck, but goes backwards. However, if it runs something else, like, it's just chuck, but less versatile and worse because of that boomerang ability. Some of you might say it's good, and I don't disagree, but I just can't find any good value for this guy. Alright, next up, Stella. Stella's easily a good bird. Behind Matilda, though. Stella's ability is that when it touches something, it spawns bubbles that trap in the items, and if you trap stuff like a TNT or stuff like that, it's going to be really, really dangerous. And after a few seconds, it pops and it's just going to destroy buildings. Like, it's easy to get value of her, but there's this RNG aspect of when the bubbles are going to spawn, which is, of course, going to sometimes make her really useful, and sometimes it's going to make her really, really bad. But overall, I think Stella is a good bird. It's easy to find value, but sometimes I just don't even want to use her sometimes. And sometimes she's just not that great. But overall, at least you can find her in more situations than Leonard and Chuck, which is why I put it above her. Now for the final bird, Melody. Now, imagine a bomb. No, imagine bomb, but there's two bombs. Because Melody is literally the best bird in the game. Why, you may ask? Well, it's simple. It tornadoes so much stuff, and it can spit them out anywhere on the screen, which means it's super easy to get value out of it. And also, it's a small bird. Its tornado radius is way too big. It just gets way too much value. Basically, with Melody and time it correctly, it's just going to be so great. Honestly, just Play with it, and then you'll find out that's just gonna crush every single building. Like every single time you tap, it's just gonna send hurdles of blocks in their way. And it's just a better lender to use since you're guaranteed to get value from that tornado ability. As you hit something, it'll automatically tornado everything. Like it's actually instant. Like Melody, and also gets slower whenever sucks something, which makes it easier. Alright, I'm sorry for getting a bit too excited there, but he really is way too good of a bird. Also, you should play Test Melody because he's just way too overpowered. His tornado ability is spitting everything out. Like, it's way, way too broken. Just play the game and they'll tell you why. And the game will tell you why it's so broken. Well, that's it from me, and we'll see you guys next time in the next Rufflu 999 video.